Hi guys, it's Crystal. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you guys how to create a circled monogram in Cricut Design Space. So let's go ahead and get started. So as you can see, I've already created 3, but I'm going to show you how to create one. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to go to deafont.com and you want to download the font that is named Monogramos. So once you download that, I go to System and then I start typing in Mono and you'll see where it pops up Monogramos. I'm going to click on that, and then without the caps lock on, you're going to type in your initials. So for example, I'm going to do the MMR. So MMR, and like I said, the caps is off, because if the caps is on, let me show you what will happen. You're going to get the outline instead of the letter. So I'm going to go ahead and backspace. Now that we have our letters, what I like to do at this point is kind of make them a little bit bigger so we can see them. Alright, so now that I've made them a little bit bigger, sometimes I even use the zoom that's down here and zoom in just a little bit more. Alright, so just like this. So once you have them like this, as you can see, they're all grouped together. So what I do is I come up and hit ungroup, which is right here. And then now you're going to have this right here. You can't click on it and hit contour. It won't pop up for this. So what you're going to have to do is take a square. So come to your shapes and get a square. And what you're going to have to do is, if you're down here, make sure you go up and grab it. Yours should be right at the top. I'm going to grab my square and I'm going to hit the unlock button. Now you can only slice 2 things at a time, so we're going to select, one letter at a time. Which this case it will be 2 because, like I said, that's connected, MMM. So I'm going to select these 2 and I'm going to hit slice. So now I'm going to be able to select. So now I can delete these ones because you want to keep the first letter. Now we need to just keep the middle, so we need to get rid of the 2 sides. So I need another square, and I actually forgot to show you guys to duplicate that right away so you don't have to keep doing that. So when you get your square down here, hit duplicate and move that out of the way just so you have that each time. So I'm going to unlock, and I'm going to bring this over just like so. I'm going to select this, and I'm going to hit slice. Once again, I'm going to delete. And now I need to do it again. I'm going to hit duplicate right away, so that way it stays, and come over this letter, hit ungroup, move over, select, and slice. I'm going to delete these ones. Alright, so now on this one, we only need the last one, and we'll only have to slice once, so I don't need to duplicate again. I'm going to hit unlock, bring this in a little bit, and that looks good to me. I'm going to select these ones, hit slice, and get rid of these. Delete. Alright, so now I'm left with these 3. What I do is I start from the middle, and I'm going to use the arrows over on my keyboard. So I'm going to bring it over as close as possible. That way I don't get it out of alignment trying to bring it over. So I'm getting it as close as possible, and now I'm going to grab the R and do the same thing. Alright, now sometimes these won't line up as perfect as these did because you want to keep that round shape. You may want to move it just a hair over, and whichever way it may be, just so you have it gapped just perfect. So I'll zoom that in so you can see. So you want to try to keep that as a circle. You don't want it to be like an oval or anything like that. You're trying to keep this as a circle. But say I'm happy with this. Now how you're going to create that circle for the outside. I'm going to go ahead and weld these so they don't move. So I'm going to hit weld. So now this is one piece. So now we're going to create that circle. So I'm going to come back to shapes, get a circle. Alright, I'm going to bring that down so we can see it. My circle, now I'm going to hit duplicate. So we've got that second one. I'm going to bring that down just a little bit. If you need to, so you can see a little better, you could change the color of the second circle just so you can see where it's at. Alright, so now you're going to figure out your thickness, about how wide do you want your, like this piece right here to be, okay? So I'm just figuring out, don't worry about getting that lined up while you're figuring it out. So let's just say that I want it a little bit thicker. So say I'm happy with that. I'm going to select both those circles. I'm going to come up to align, and I'm going to hit center, and that's going to center both of those circles perfectly. Then I'm going to come down to slice and hit slice. And now what I can do is just I can delete both of the middle pieces, and now I'm just going to keep that outer ring. So what I can do is grab that ring and come around here. So I'm just going to keep bringing that in, scooting it around, figuring out how close I want that to be. So give it as big as a gap that you want it. So I'm going to keep playing just a little bit more. And I'm just kind of halfway bringing it around. It's obviously not going to be even, so I'm going to bring it a little bit more. Now I'm going to select both of those. Once again, I'm going to come to align and hit center. So there we go. Now if I wanted it to be a little bit bigger of a gap, I would just keep bringing it again and then center it again. But I'm happy with this, so I'm going to select both and hit weld. All right, so there it is. So I do my monograms for the car. I'm going to do those about 5 inches. So I come up to height. And I'm going to change that to 5. And there you have it. There's my monogram. Now, if you wanted to do those different colors, you would obviously just not weld them. You'd keep them all separate, and that's how you could do them all different colors if you wanted to, okay? But I like to do mine all one solid circle. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that because we don't need it. I've already got all these sized how I want them. So what I'm going to do is change these to the colors that I'm wanting. So for the MMR, I'm actually going to be using a pattern. I'm going to show you guys really quick. So for the MMR, I'm actually going to be using this Mickey Mouse pattern vinyl from Cricut, and this is actually their premium vinyl. It's removable, but the longer, like I've talked to you before about removables, the longer you let them sit, the more permanent they will become over time. I personally have not had any issues of using these as car decals. You guys have seen me do videos in the past, but that's up to you. If you don't want to use a removable and you're nervous about using something like that, especially if you're going to be selling it, stick with a permanent. So you could do like the permanent glossy. So the other two, hopefully you guys can see that, the permanent glossy, this is another premium vinyl. Stick with that if you want to be 100% sure. But I'm going to be using removable and permanent. So for the first one, like I said, it's going to be the Mickey Mouse, and I think it's going to be that white one. So I'm going to go ahead and change. So I'm going to go ahead and change the MMR to a white. So I know that's the Mickey Mouse, okay? And then on the K&M, I'm going to do that one a teal. So I'm going to go ahead and change that to just some sort of teal color. The blue will be fine. I could do like a mint, that way I kind of know. The MLD, I'm going to do that with the gray. So I'm going to go ahead and change that to gray. All right, so now we are ready to go. All we have to do is go to make it. All right, so the MLD is first, so we need to get the gray ready to go. The mint look in there, which is actually going to be the teal. Those are going to be permanent. The white is going to be removable. You don't need to reverse these or anything, mirror them, because it's just regular vinyl. So I'm going to hit continue, select my maker, hit browse. I'm going to go to removable, just type in REM. Go ahead and choose premium vinyl. I'm going to hit done. And now we are ready to load it. So I'm going to go ahead and come back down here so you guys can see. All right, so let's go ahead and get this dude opened up. The one thing I love about Cricut's new packaging is I love that it comes in the tubes like this because it's easy to store. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get out my gray. I'm going to pull these out. So I'm going to need the this mint teal color here. Look how pretty. And I just love their vinyl. Now it has like, it don't have that stiff paper like we had to deal with before. It's more flexible for us. So here's the gray. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit load. And I'm going to hit go. Take my Cricut scissors here and trim this up. Alright, just like that. Go ahead and load it. And hit go. These have a really nice glossy finish on them, okay? So you can see all the cute little designs. So you've got, let me kind of bring these out so you guys can see. All right, so you have this one here. You have this one here, which has Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse. Cute. You have two of each. And then you have this one right here. So I'm thinking about doing hers with the white one right here. We're going to go ahead and hit load. And go. I'm going to use my Cricut Bright Pad, get it on its highest setting so we can see here. Get this down, and the first piece I'm going to get rid of is that outside layer. All right, just like that. Now there's going to be the inside ring of this circle, so I'm going to go ahead and get that out now. All right, just like that. And then the only piece that we have left is the R. All right, just like that. So I've got you guys zoomed in now so you guys can see it a little bit better, and that way you guys can hopefully see that a little bit better for the next two. So I'm going to go ahead and do our next one. And once again, I go ahead and I get my outside layer done first. All right. Just like that, and get that inside circle. All right. Just like that. Super easy. So last one, get it on here. Like I said, you're just going to go for the outside layer first. It just kind of helps you see where you're working a lot better if you work that way. So now we just got to get that inside circle. All right, just like that. All right, just like that. There you have it. So now you can see all three of those, just like that. All right, now for the transfer tape, all we're going to do is I'm going to take some transfer tape. I want to make sure that it's going to be able to cover everything. So I'm going to go ahead and get 3 of those cut down. I'm just going to work like this. So I've talked to you about using like a Teflon paper as well. You could use Teflon sheet, but with this, we're not having to pick up and layer, so it doesn't matter. But I do like to work because if I'm going to get any excess on something, I like to work on a flat, clean surface. So the Bright Pad's great for that as well if you have one. So all I've got to do is I've got my design straight up. I'm making sure there's nothing on my paper here, or it's going to stick underneath the transfer. I'm going to separate that from its backing, and now this piece is trash. We don't need that because it's going to stay on this one. So all I've got to do is lay this down. I try to work from the center and then work out. All right, so all I have to do is scrape that with my my Excel tool. I really like the Excel tool for stuff like this. It's just so flexible. It's a lot more flexible than that small one. So I highly recommend you get this on hand. All right, so there we have it. So I'm just making sure when they go to peel this, that it's going to peel really easy. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this up here. So that way when they go to work and put this on their vehicle, I want it to be able to peel just like this without any issues, okay? So that's why we're pushing that in really well. Now, once it's at this point, you can take your paper trimmer so it's super nice and straight and get that, or you could do your knife tool and your ruler like I've showed you before, or you could just simply kind of eyeball and try to keep it as clean as possible. I just want to straighten up those edges just a little bit. I'm going to turn that light off so we can see a little better. Sorry, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and get that. And I want to, so see, I've got this. I want to make sure that's clean. So I could always sit here and round it up if I wanted to. So I'm just kind of nicely going around it like this. That way it just looks a little bit better. All right, so just like that. Isn't that cute? Love it. So I really like the round shape whenever you do that, but I like it square as well. But the round looks really good with these. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and show you that 2 more times. So we're going to get our next one. And I know it's really hard to tell because it's on that white background, but once we get it on her vehicle, which there will be a screenshot in here, see how much better you can see that with the black of the window. I'll go ahead and Get this down. Once again, kind of work from that center and then work your way down. Your XL scraper tool and really work that down. All right, just like that. And then all I've got to do is round it up. Hopefully you guys can see that cute. All right, I'm going to pop this down. They're just an awesome gift, or like I said, whether you're selling them in your shop, your little store, your Etsy site, giving them away for friends, family, but like I said, Christmas gifts. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.